Welcome to the very first episode of our new Helix podcast. I'm here with my good friend Nicola. Thank you for being here with me, brother. So instead of me introducing you, let us do this. Let us imagine instead of Nemanja there's a serial killer, okay? He's having a pistol and he's pointing it right at me. And in order to stop him from shooting me, you have to impress him with all of your achievements of your life so far, bro. You have 1 minute. Go.
Well, in 9 years of me doing digital marketing, I've been through thick and thin, deep shits and also some good achievements. And so managed to be now partner at one of the fastest growing agencies in the world when it comes to digital marketing for e-commerce and info products. This year, we're gonna hit just under 20 million in revenue. Also started an e-commerce brand this year, and it's going to do just under $1 million in the e-commerce brand in Serbia. That's been done with, I would say, 2-3 hours a week, simply because there is not enough time in a day. Now I'm trying to build a community for people and teach them how to do the same. And it's not a typical scamming course online and stuff like that, but genuinely throughout these 9 years, what I've learned, I'm going to try to push that through my community and teach them how to do the same.
Perfect, man. So you're a partner in a marketing agency that does close to 20 million per year. You have an online shop that generates you over $1 million per year, and you're not even working really much for that. And now you're building your own community, teaching people how to do the same.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
Okay, I didn't die, bro. I think you impressed him right there, man. You didn't kill me. Perfect, man. So you're in the space for 9 years. Tell us, brother, like, how did you start? How did you get into everything? And how old are you now, so that people know?
Yeah, so I'm 27, gonna be 28 in January. I've started when I was 18, 19. The lines are blurred there, so I'm not sure exactly when it was. It was kind of a long time ago. But yeah, I started out of the desperation, I guess, for cash. In Serbia, here you don't have much opportunities, especially when you're younger. You don't have opportunities even when you're older, but especially when you're younger. So I just wanted to make a quick cash. A random Asian dude jumped on my Facebook feed trying to teach me how to do drop shipping as an advertisement. I was like, fuck yes, this makes sense. So I was like, okay, let me dive a little bit more into it. And back then you didn't have that much on YouTube about it. It was just getting started with the whole drop shipping idea and how to do it. And the typical thing that you learn online even today is like, you need $5 on ads and you're gonna make a shit ton of money.
That's what you thought as well, bro.
Yes, I mean that's what they taught me.
Okay.
When you don't know, you don't know. So it just makes sense. So I dive into it, try to do it a little bit. Obviously, I needed cash. My parents didn't want to give me any for it, so I saved.
How did you try to convince your parents to give you cash for your first e-com business?
They didn't. So they gave me 300 euros to go to a summer vacation. I believe it was in Bulgaria or something like that. All my friends used to drink and enjoy the whole vacation. I used to just chill with them and save as much money as possible. And so I brought back about 300 euros more or less to start it, which was not enough, which prompted me then to reach out to someone. There was a dropshipping Balkan group on Facebook. That was the only place you can really learn about digital marketing back then. And I kind of sent a message in it, hey, I'm from Niš. Is there anyone else here from this city? There was one dude that responded, was like 40 something years old and me 18. He's like, okay, bro, let's do this together, because he didn't have a capital either as much. And then there was.
So you're 18, had no capital, and he's 45, also had no capital.
Pretty much, yeah. That's a typical scenario in Serbia, I would say.
Perfect.
So we then met another guy who lives here near Pančevo, from some village. And then us three just invested 300 euros each. That was close to $1,000, or 1,000 euros. And then when you are using your last or the only money that you have, you are worrying about every single euro and how you spend it, right? So we opened up a company. That was the next step for me. It was in my name. Then we were like, okay, let's spend some money on ads. And then what do we sell? Some most bullshit products that you can possibly imagine. We sold, first we were doing the rings with Christianity on it. but not even the Orthodox one, the the Catholic one, because it was in US.
Okay.
It obviously failed.
Okay.
So we wasted about 200 euros there. Then we were like these wine socks that you pull on. Didn't work. We wasted money there. And so they started, because obviously they had families. One of them was getting a kid as well. They were like, okay, this is not for us. Let's just dive into regular business and or regular job and just provide for their families. And I was like, fair enough, that's okay. Well, I quitted with them at that point as well. I was like, this doesn't work. You need way more money to do it, which wasn't true if you think about it, even today. And that was pretty much it. I stopped doing digital marketing, didn't do anything. I got into law college. Everything, I'm not sure how you say stipendia in English, but that's when everything is paid for. And I genuinely wanted to be a lawyer. In the meantime,
I think you'd be a great lawyer, bro.
Yeah, I would be a great lawyer, but I couldn't study that much. In the meantime, I wanted to go to US because there was this program, work and travel, right? You go for 3 to 4 months, you work as a lifeguard or in a restaurant, you make some money. And as a disclaimer, my parents were never in a difficult financial situation. So it's not like I didn't have stuff, I just wanted to make my own money, right? So I wanted to have money for myself, I wanted to have money for something that I want to invest in, enjoy, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I asked my parents to give me the money, which was about 1,500 euros for a ticket and the program and the whole shebang to get there. Obviously, you make money there and make way more than what you pay. And my parents knew I'm retarded and that I would probably stay in US if I went. So they were like, okay, no, we're not gonna give you the money. You need to study for your college. And I told them, okay, I'm gonna prove that I can make money myself and I'm gonna pay for it. I literally found a couple of days ago, because when I was building the course material for the community, I found my email because I decided to create or send 10 emails per day to 10 influencers that are in digital marketing space in US and just ask for a job. Like, I have a little bit of knowledge. I used to play the card that in Serbia doctors are making 800 euros a month as a salary with a degree. And that I'm just a kid who is looking to make some money. Sent to first 10. Luckily, out of those 10, 2 of them responded with.
My boy was a copywriting genius from the start, bro.
Yes,
Master
I
cold
actually
email
was
from the
very,
start.
very surprised when I read it a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago. I was very surprised how well I wrote that email, even though I didn't have any experience with copywriting, and I still suck at it, to be quite honest with you. So. But yeah, I got 2 responses. One of them was, hey, I have a thumbnail for my YouTube gig. I can pay you $15 per thumbnail, but I need to see some work. Do you have experience? I said, fuck yes, I'm great at it.
You're him, bro. You're the best
Yeah,
thumbnail
I
designer.
never touched Photoshop in my life. Canva was not a thing then. So I went to YouTube, started learning how to do thumbnails for YouTube. Create a couple of them, send it to him, absolutely sucked, and I didn't land that one. But the other one was a guy named Billy Wilson. He's 1 year younger than me. Mm-hmm. And so what happened is that he was just starting out. He had a couple of clients in local region in US. He had his agency, and so he was like, hey bro, I'm not expecting you to know everything, or for that matter nothing, but if you're willing to work, I'm gonna teach you, and we can go from there. I said, fuck yes, man, sign me up, I'm down. And so long story short, because there is quite a lot that happened in those 3 years that I worked for him, we scaled the agency to just under 100 grand a month in revenue. He also released a course in the meantime, teaching people how to do the
of course.
social. But surprisingly, it was very successful. Like some of the big names right now on YouTube, not as big as Iman Gaji stuff, but bigger names, were a part of that course, and they were learning from us, and we had quite decent amount of success stories in it. So yes, it's a typical SMMA course and how to do it. Back then, we also didn't have as many courses on it. but it was overall pretty well done. Not because I didn't record it, obviously, but he did, and he was really paying attention to details and to provide the value. We grew that to anywhere between 150 to 200 grand a month in revenue in just 3 months, and managed to keep it at that level for a solid year and a half. And yeah, I learned pretty much everything when it comes to, I used to work for 3 years, 7 days a week, 15, 16 hours nonstop. Not a single day of break. I just grinded the shit out. He asked me, do I know how to video edit? Have no clue. Overnight I learned on YouTube how to video edit.
So of course you
next day I edit.
Yeah.
Photoshop, I learned Premiere, I tried copywriting, still suck at it, but at least I know how it should be done. I have the idea, so I can just move the idea to someone who's actually well at putting the words together and make it sound nice. I learned how to do Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads. I learned how to do VSLs, webinars, funnels, you name it.
Bro, you learned how to do everything.
Pretty much. I was a jack of all trades back then. Is that how you say it? I think it is.
Yeah.
So kind of allowed me to automations as well, which was one of the big things that allowed me to do other stuff later on in my journey. And kind of allowed me to be very confident in my skill sets, which at some point it didn't work out between us. I wanted a percentage. We agreed and disagreed on certain things, and which is perfectly fine in business. Obviously, it happens. And then overnight, I told him, "Hey, listen, because I didn't get a percentage of the business. I was the first one there. He was doing like 3-4K a month when I joined. I was super grateful for the opportunity.
He was doing 3-4K, and you guys scaled it across the agency and coaching business to like 250K.
Correct.
Crazy, man.
And I didn't ask for like 50% or anything. It was like more like I wanted like 5, 10, 15%, whatever. And I was even down to do whatever is necessary to get to that point since the conversation happened initially.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, right? Things happen for a reason. So literally in 2 days, and at that point I was roughly 21, 22. I was making close to 10 grand a month.
At 21?
At 21.
And this is like 6-7 years ago. This is not like now where every single kid makes 10K per month, bro. Like this is 6-7 years ago.
Exactly. So
how was that, man?
It was phenomenal, but I was a dumb kid. Everything that I made, I spent. Everything that I made, I spent. Stupid shit, stupid stuff, stupid things, everything stupid pretty much.
What was like the worst thing you spent the money on?
I bought a car.
Well.
No, it's a stupid thing.
Okay.
It's a stupid thing when you work for someone and you go and splash 25 grand in cash just to buy a car that was not the best car in the world, trust me. It was the dumbest decision of my life.
Like you got scammed for the car?
And I can't say scam, I was just a dumb kid who didn't check it in time.
Okay,
Let's say just like that.
Different story, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I was making a shit ton of money, especially in Serbia.
Yeah.
It's one thing to make 10K even in US or somewhere in developed countries, but in Serbia, as a 21-year-old making 10K 6-7 years ago,
Crazy.
it was like fuck.
You're
my
him, bro.
life.
Top 0.01%, man.
Man, I was on top of the world. Yeah. I felt like that's it. I won the game. So, and in 3 days, I made a decision to quit. Dropped down to zero. I had 3.
Like you quit with Billy then?
Yeah, with Billy. Yeah, I had like 3,000-4,000 euros in my bank account, 6 employees under me, and no income whatsoever coming in or idea how it is gonna happen.
Fire.
Well, it's a stupid decision, don't get me wrong. You should not make irrational decisions on the spot, especially if you have people depending on you. But I was just so confident in my skill set that I was like, I'm gonna make something work. At that time, Luke Simmons, who is still to this day my business partner or one of my business partners, he actually was part of Billy's course, and I was also
as a student or
yeah, student. Okay. And I also was a coach there, so we kind of clicked while he was a student there. He had his local lead gen agency. He was doing okay, not the best in the world, and we kind of like long story short, like started a conversation of like potentially partnering up, and he partnered up in the meantime with someone else briefly. And I was there, fuck yeah, I have a problem in Serbia that I can't get paid because Stripe does not exist here. Opening an LLC it was not as easy as it is now.
Today,
like go on a website, do a couple of buttons, and now you
and
have
boom,
an LLC.
one week later you're set, bro. Yeah.
Exactly. So I couldn't get paid. So this was one of my ways of like, okay, he's a fluent English speaker, which goes quite a lot when you are trying to close clients and
for trust,
impressions.
100%.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. He had ways to get paid through Stripe, through banking, whatever. And then I also had a skill set to merge with that. So we kind of partnered up. We decided, okay, let's do local lead gen because that was like the easiest thing at the time. Guess what? That was so dumb. Reason why? Because it was COVID. Local businesses did not work.
Yeah, definitely not, bro.
And it was in a peak as well. So it was actually quite bad. We managed to land a couple of clients, but nothing major, nothing crazy. We struggled for a couple of months. People on our team, most of them left, which is understandable. So we were kind of building everything from scratch, more or less, right? And at that point, the person he partnered up before me had like e-commerce agency, was just starting out, but they didn't know how to run ads. I was very good at running ads. And we partner up like 33% split between us, right? With the idea of, okay, that guy is not gonna get involved as much, but he gets the 1/3, and then me and Luke are gonna be, because essentially it's his business, and we're gonna do the work, which we were perfectly fine with. We scaled that e-com agency up to 110 grand a month in revenue. Overall, pretty okay, I would say. We had about 25 team members at that point. Pretty decent sized team. The problem was that we were closing very bad clients. And we didn't really ask much, where are you with your journey? No, I do have 2-3K to pay us. Yes, okay, you're a perfect fit for us.
Let's go, bro.
Just go for it, right? Naturally, even today, if you're in that situation, those clients are gonna churn quite quickly. And so in order to close those types of clients, when you don't have like a major brand, you need to give them guarantees in order for them to say yes. Obviously, you have rules for guarantees, but for some reason, agreements and contracts in US mean fuck all. People don't give a shit about them. They sign them like it's a piece of paper.
Of course, bro.
Yeah,
that's the space, man. Like no one cares about
yeah,
these.
Exactly.
Really.
So we had rules. Obviously, one thing that's still an issue for everyone in business right now who is taking credit card payments is chargebacks.
Yeah.
So even though they didn't honor the agreement, even though, and to be quite honest with you, we did honor our parts. If they did everything, if a client did everything that we asked for them and we didn't provide results, we would give them money back. Like it is what it is. That was the guarantee. But for most of them, we request content, we request stuff, they don't provide it. Obviously, I cannot do best for you and I can't provide you the best results possible. So yeah, churn was very high. We had like 3 salespeople just closing like nuts. We were spending 40 to 50 grand on ads just to maintain. Obviously, that business is not sustainable, right?
Definitely
if you
not.
spend like close to half of your revenue on just ads to acquire new clients because you had to create additional revenue because the churn ones are going to happen very soon or in a couple months.
Yeah, it's bad, bro.
Yes. What fucked that business absolutely and completely was that we had kind of a little rough period before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which is natural. Like usually before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, even today, like people don't tend to change agencies or change what they're doing. They're just playing out throughout that time frame, and then after that they change in January, February, March. That's when usually
like this
the
Q4 overall for a client acquisition is quite
correct,
hard.
and a little bit before Q4 because a lot of times people are preparing for that Q4
Definitely.
in advance. We start preparation for our clients like 3 months in advance.
Yeah.
So because it's such a big time of a year for e-commerce and any digital business, I think nowadays. Just before that Q4, we were preparing. Obviously, client inbound was not as best, and which was understandable. One of our clients, his accountant saw a strange transactions on their books which were our retainers. By the way, we were crushing for their clients, so there was no reason for them to charge back.
Okay.
Charged back 6 or 7 payments for the last 6 or 7 months.
That can crush the business, bro, completely.
And then Stripe flagged us.
Yeah.
Obviously risky, like large amount of...
Definitely, yeah.
It was giant amount. It was like 25, 30 grand in dispute. Locked all of our funds for 120 days.
Damn.
Everything.
Same happened to me, brother.
All the payouts, everything. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling in the world. And here's the biggest issue, right? So it's not that they just locked our funds and that we are like... our bank account was depleted for reasons I can't disclose here. It was because of the third person.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, okay. You live, you learn.
Yeah.
We didn't have that much experience either in those kind of environment scenarios, I guess. And the worst out of everything, because we still had clients. The problem was we couldn't get paid because we couldn't charge them. All the credit cards, all the connection, everything was through that Stripe, and all of a sudden we can't charge client, we can't use our money that was supposed to be paid out through Stripe because that was locked as well, and we don't have enough money in a bank account to sustain the business.
Yeah. So let me summarize until here, bro.
Yes.
You started the dropshipping business, which failed miserably, bro.
Yes.
Then you just reached out to like influencers on YouTube at the time. You said, whatever I can do for you, I do it. Started doing like thumbnails and stuff. Started working with Billy then. You helped him scale from 5K to 250K per month. Split up with him, met Luke, started this new agency with Luke. Went well at the start, like you scaled to 110K per month. This business went to shit as well because all the payment processing stuff. Like this is a lot of issues you were facing at the time, also at a very young age, like things going very well and then like the rapid fall down again. Like what's your main learnings from the time? From that like period? How many years is that like in now? 2, 3, 4 years?
No, we're deep, like we're like 5 years in.
5 years in, okay.
Obviously, if I went into little gritty details, we would have to sit here for the next 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
so
no.
I can give you
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So I'm trying to shorten the story a bit, but the biggest thing I learned is, and this might sound cheesy, this might sound like, oh, that's what everyone says, but genuinely it's very true. If you quit, that's the only time you're actually gonna fail in business, or you're not gonna be successful or not gonna succeed in what you're doing. If you don't quit, there is no way that you're not gonna make it work, right? So I had fails, I failed, I went from making a shit ton of money to making no money to making shit ton of money to the point where even at the time when business with that agency like stopped performing and we couldn't charge, and me and Luke decided to part ways with a third person and like kind of like do our own thing. We had like a couple of clients, we had a shit ton of team members that we had to pay, so we didn't take money for ourselves. Even to the point, after so many years of doing digital marketing and everything, my wife, current wife, was supporting me for a solid 3 months. Paying the bills, and we just got together. Like I'm talking, we were together for a couple of months. She moved in with me, and the shit happened. And I mean, fair play to her, honestly.
Wifey material, bro.
Yeah, wifey material.
Definitely, man.
Fair play to her that she didn't leave like most of people would.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would stay if I was in her shoes, supporting this guy who I just started dating and who was supposed to be successful and making money and shit, and all of a sudden she's supporting us with her salary. So
Okay.
but that was a G moment from her, which I very much appreciated, which proved to me that she's probably gonna be the one. And so yeah, that's, if I quit at that point, which a lot of people will already quit long time ago, not at that point, but even after quitting with Bill and I managing to get the local running again and struggling for months to find clients. As any business, like it's not easy. Like they sell it as easy, they sell it as, and for some people it might be, they have some luck, they hit the nail on the head and got a couple of clients or connections, and that's perfectly normal in any business, right? Some people are lucky, some people are not as lucky. But if you don't quit, then there is no reason for you not to make it. Simply you fail, you learn, you don't make the same mistake again, you move on, you try to do something else, something different. stay on the trend, follow it, and then at some point it becomes
inevitable to win.
Yeah, it comes.
I think a main thing here to consider is as well what quitting actually is, bro. Because there's many people, their agency or business does not work out, but they work like half an hour per day, bro, and the rest they watch YouTube videos and do like productivity hacks. For you, not quitting meant like, okay, this business is going to shit, let me actually work another 12, 16 hours per day to make shit work actually. So I think you have to keep that in mind, because I think there's many people out there who have like tried to make a business work or whatever, but then they're just like working an hour to 2 per day max and then like wasting all of their time, but have the mindset in their head of like, okay, let me never quit and then it will work out, but it won't work if you don't actually work on it.
Put it this way, now in this digital marketing space era, there is a quote saying, work smart, not hard, which I disagree and agree with. Yes, you should work smart and not hard if you can. But working hard is just something that gets your ethics in the right place, right? You get the routine. When things become difficult, when things become tough, you don't stop, you don't quit. You actually try to overcome the problem, and that's how you actually succeed, right?
Yeah.
So if you think that, and I have these problems with, especially with my students that are just at the start, just at the beginning, and I understand that as well. They've seen a couple of YouTube videos. All of these guys are saying, yeah, do it with 1 hour a day. I can do it with 1 hour a day probably as a side business, because but because I already have an experience. I have the capital, I have the knowledge. I even have team members that
just have the leverage, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. I can probably do it in a couple of hours a day, and I've done it with my e-commerce brand in Serbia.
Yeah.
But if you're just starting out and you're expecting to do 1 hour a day of work, 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day of work, impossible.
So how did we go from new agency goes to shit again to partner at a very big marketing agency and an e-com brand that makes you a lot of money with almost no work?
So it was when we broke up the partnership with the third guy. Me and my business partner Luke said, okay, fuck this, we're not partnering with anyone else, that's it, we are doing our own thing.
Two-man army now.
Yeah, it's like we're not gonna make the same mistake again, right?
Yeah.
And so at the time we wanted to, okay, what's gonna be the biggest leverage for us to get clients, provide results for them without having to do crazy guarantees, and be able to fulfill for them quite easily. And the answer was email marketing, right? So we were like, okay, let's do email marketing agency instead of just e-com agency. We kept some clients. We managed to get the Stripe rolling from UK standpoint. It still was not great. No, US clients don't want to pay to UK's bank because they have to be converted
like
into
conversions and everything.
It sucks quite a lot, and a lot of them were skeptical, like, why are we now changing the company all of a sudden? Am I changing the team? Did you guys do something? Blah blah. So
yeah, definitely.
We did churn quite a bit naturally. So we kept some of the clients just to get the business going, just to pay the team members. And the idea was transitioning into email marketing. While we were doing Scope, which was the name of the e-com agency that failed, we also had a coaching program teaching people who can't afford our service how to do it themselves, right? Naturally, that's just a downsell to liquidate the ad spend as much as possible so we can reinvest money to find clients that we want to have for the main services. And we were very good at automation, setting up Monday board. Monday.com is a CRM for people who don't know. Setting the board, setting the structure for the team, how to do the coaching, how to do the weekly calls, how to do the course, recording everything. And so Eddie Malouf, who is my business partner right now, the owner of 4 Media and Bad Marketing at the moment, actually approached us through a mutual group that we were in for like how to get agencies off the ground and stuff. And asked, hey, can you guys do coaching for me, consultation for me on how you guys set up the coaching program, right? Yeah, fuck yes, why not? Like, we've done it free of charge. Eddie was and still is a G, but he was like just getting ramped up. We thought 4 Media was massive.
Shoutouts to Eddie, bro.
Yeah. And he was like, that was while the scope was working. He was impressed. We asked him to give us his course that he was just creating for e-commerce media buyers, which we just wanted to improve our team members' knowledge. We enrolled there. We built that relationship to some extent. And then the conversation just died out naturally because we didn't chat much after that. And then all of a sudden, a couple of months in us building the email marketing agency, Eddie Malouf pops in our DMs on WhatsApp saying, "Hey boys, boys because of you.
Yeah,
hey guys,
trendsetter, bro. Hey boys, yeah.
Hey guys, I have something I would love to speak with you. Do you have a couple of minutes there tomorrow, right?" So we said, "Fuck yes, let's book a call." We jumped on a call. We were expecting to be sold on the agency founders event that we host every year.
Yeah.
But no, he was actually, "Hey guys, I met you, we spoke, I like you too. Would you like to come and partner up with me and kind of like merge our agencies into the thing?" We absolutely said no. Yes. We said, "Fuck that, we ain't gonna partner with anyone else."
Because of the bad experience from the past.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were like, for so long we've been partnering up. Let's just do something on our own. And we said no. Then he was like, "Okay, think about it, and then we can do this again." Okay, yeah, fine. Again, in a week he reaches out to us, follow up, man. Best salesperson that I have ever met, hand on heart.
Tell us about it, bro.
He's a beast, man. He's relentless. He doesn't stop. Hence why the bad marketing is so successful and why we have such a big clients is he's the person who goes into the room and all of a sudden he's the only one that people listen to.
Eddie or the sales guy? Eddie. Okay.
Yeah. And so he jumped on again. "Hey, did you guys think about it? Did you learn the whole thing?" And we were like, "No, we made a mistake again. We genuinely do not want to do that, blah, blah." And he was like, "Okay, fair enough, but I want you guys to think." And there is a key sentence there. He said, would you rather have a half a watermelon or what was the other fruit? The very small fruit. Let's just say orange, whatever. Yeah. Or a whole orange. Naturally, like watermelon is more bigger than.
Of course.
Yeah. So they were like, "Okay, fair enough." And then me and
so
Luke.
Like the whole small pie of a very big cake or like a very small cake just for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so me and Luke were like, "Okay, so let's set some, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like some terms of
agreement.
agreement.
Let's set some terms that are like very unrealistic in our eyes at that point." And like he's probably gonna say no to them, and if he doesn't say no to them, we're not gonna accept it. If he says yes to them, we're gonna accept it, right? And we were consulting with our girlfriends at the time. Maybe was my fiance. She's gonna murder me for this. That's okay.
Cut it out.
Yes. So we were consulting with them. What's the best idea? Blah blah. He also has soon wife, and so we said, "Okay, let's give him those terms and let's see how it works." We jumped on a call. We said, "Hey, let's chat again." Jumped on a call. We gave him the terms. 5 minutes later, he's like, "Yes, accepted, done." And we're like, "What?"
Were you like, "Fuck"?
Yes.
Or were you like?
Yeah, we were like, "Fuck." We did not expect that to happen.
Okay.
We were just like testing the waters, but we said if he accepts it, it's gonna be like good for us.
Okay, like
right?
you can. Yeah. Okay.
So he fucking made us say yes, I guess. And he went speak with his other business partner, Fredo, who has the minority also in the company. But he shares everything with his partners to accept. He said, "Let me just chat with him just to make 100% sure, but 95% it's yes, right?"
Perfect.
Say, "Fuck yes, okay, sounds good." And next thing you know, we are part of 4Media London. 4Media is a main entity. And then the way we merged is we didn't want to give away the whole company. We said we still want to be, the reason why we don't want to partner up, or especially not the way it was set up initially, we said we don't want to be like we have a boss. We don't want to work for someone. If we're doing this, we're going to do this as partners, and we're going to make decisions for our department how we like, right?
Yeah.
Obviously with consultations with people, with our partners, etc., to make the best move decision for all of us, but we want to be the ones who are making the final decisions for that specific part of or that specific entity that was sold to them. Sorry. We sold 70% of the company, kept 15% each, and we agreed with flat salary every month, plus the dividend payouts at the end of the year or quarterly, depending on how well we do as an entity.
So now you just scale e-com and info product brands, basically.
Well, yes, that's the main service. So because it's split in that way, Bad Marketing has now local business, so servicing local businesses that are in automotive space. We have Amazon department that's that's working with giant Amazon brands, helping them grow on Amazon. We also have e-com department on Atlanta side or US side. We have an e-com department on London side. We have an info department on US side and info department on London side. Services that we offer for e-commerce for Facebook ads, not Facebook, Meta ads, Google ads, website creation, and then email and SMS marketing.
Okay. So just do everything to make your clients more money, basically.
Exactly. On info space, we do everything.
Like funnel builds, landing pages, automations, everything.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, depending on how much you pay.
If you can, let's do some name dropping, bro. Like here's some big guys, like heavy hitters you're working with. Just so that people get an understanding of how big this company actually is and how much influence you have.
Well, some of the names I can mention now because the projects are somewhat done or already finished, but we work with ClickFunnels, we work with Alex Hormozi, we work with Snow, Thin Widening. For people who don't know, that's the fastest growing e-commerce, or was the fastest growing e-commerce in US.
Can you give numbers, like how much, for example, you help them scale? Well,
it just depends on the clients. So some of them were just like content shoots that we do for example, Snow Teeth Whitening. We never did like specific ads for them, but we have a full in-house studio in US, and like we've done phenomenal content for them. Some of the content is now being placed on all the airports in US.
Crazy.
Great. So yeah. But we do have clients who are making a couple of mil a month, and we help them maintain or scale those numbers as much as possible. So we work with brands that are just starting out. So let's say usually anywhere between 10 to 15K in monthly revenue, all the way up to like $150,000 to $200,000 per month. That's kind of like what my side of business does, and we help those people, and we specialize working with those people. And the US Atlanta side works with people who are at like 200, 300K mark plus, and try to scale them further from there.
Yeah. So why would potential clients work with you and not with a similar agency that does like something similar in the space, basically?
Well, put it this way, so Bad Marketing stands for bold and disruptive. And the way
Go Bad, bro. Like the branding is insane, man. I love it. Go Bad, bold and disruptive.
It was the funniest thing how we came up with that, and we can cover that in a second. But the reason why people come to us is because we're not afraid to make the bold moves, right? A lot of agencies are playing safe. They are like, okay, let's do it slow. Let's do it like this. Let's be careful. And we come with the most craziest shit that you can possibly imagine, just trying to
just come in with results. A bang, bro.
Exactly.
Like even choosing the name Bad Marketing is also crazy.
I mean, the way it happened was, and I think I can say this now. I think I can say this now.
Might as well to get sued here, bro. Let's go.
So 4Media was the name of the company initially, and there was another 4Media group marketing agency in UK. And they had a trademark, and the only reason why they are eligible for a trademark is because they had a YouTube channel created 30 days before we created a 4Media, or before Eddie created a 4Media.
Okay.
And so we got hit by a lawsuit for the brand name. Obviously, we tried to fight it. We were much bigger as 4Media. We had shit ton of content. We had so much branding around 4Media done. We, at that time, were also negotiating merging with another giant agency called Human Media. Essentially, that was like one of the biggest competitors of ours in the space for clients, because usually when they come to us, they were like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with you or with Human Media, right? So Eddie and Ashton at that time were negotiating, finding the solution how they can merge into one giant agency, and so kind of like everything clicked together at the perfect timing where we had to change the name. And so we made it so it's like, okay, because of the merger, because of everything that's going on, we were rebranding. And so we had to come up with a name. We probably had, I'm not even joking, I have chat and Slack between me, Eddie, Luke, and a couple more partners, and the management team. How can we, what name could we use for us? Well, how can we change it? To what can we change it? We need to do it right now, or not right now, but this time, because if we don't, we're just gonna have to rebrand again, which is not gonna be feasible.
Yeah.
The least marketing person in the whole of team, our CFO, Julian, after 10,000 different names, chat GPTs, etc., he just came, why are we not just called bad marketing as a joke?
Julian G, bro.
Yes, and we were like, ha, 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 ha. And then
Actually,
after a couple of days, we're like, okay, how big of balls do we have to actually be named bad marketing? It's catchy, so whenever you go, wherever I go, regardless whether you heard about bad marketing or not, if I come to you and I tell you, hey, my agency is called Bad Marketing, there is no way you're gonna forget about that name.
Definitely not.
No, who the fuck names their marketing agency Bad Marketing? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like I can even say that from experience, bro. Like I heard your guy's name the first time when a friend of mine told me about it. It's like, yeah, I'm thinking of working with this agency called Bad Marketing. I was like, bro, like, what the fuck, bro? And they're just like, no, they're big, they're crazy, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And then I think like 2-3 months later, you reached out to us because of Helix. And then I just see Nicola at Bad Marketing. And I'm like, wait a minute, like this shit rings a bell, bro. So it is definitely a name that you don't forget. And if it was for me or something like that, I probably would have not like.
But that's the thing, that was the goal, right?
Yeah.
Another thing, in fair play to Eddie and Ashton, now can't take any credit on that. Yeah. When we rebranded to Bad Marketing, they absolutely went nuts on like exposure, on building the name, like building the hype around it. And all of a sudden overnight, not just because of the merger, but because the way they've done it, they've made Bad Marketing even more known than it was as a 4Media.
Yeah.
They hosted a crazy Las Vegas event just after the merger. Invited a shit ton of e-commerce people. They were messaging them afterwards, hey, when is the next party? You guys smashed it, like giant bad logo on the walls in a Las Vegas casino, like pretty mad, like pretty crazy. We got some of the people start posting about it. They're big in the space, like they actually done a pretty fucking great job branding the new name and getting the exposure to it. And that was pretty much it. We started like crushing it as a Bad Marketing. And yeah, I've kind of forgot what was the question, to be quite honest with you.
No.
I just went on that.
All good, man. So let me summarize the second part of the story here. So you and Luke decided you're going to start a new agency, no partners this time, worked very well. Eddie slid in your DMs, he asked for some help, provided a lot of value without even charging for it, you mentioned as well, just like helping the guy. Then a few months later, he came back, wanted to work with you guys. You said, hell no, let's just give him like these terms he'll never accept, bro. And then he accepted them. And then you started working with him, partners in the biz, big rebrand, and now you're just scaling the shit out of cool companies, bro.
Yes, pretty much.
Nice, man.
I would love to share more names of the clients. Unfortunately, I can't. But if you...
You all know and love them.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of them,
quite
a lot of them. You watch them every day. If you're in digital marketing space, you most likely like them or dislike them, but you know who they are 100%. So
perfect.
Unless you're living under the rock. So.
Okay, so like the first 3, 4, 5 years of the journey were like your main takeaways or your main learning is like never give up, bro. Like even if you hit rock bottom. Now like the past 2, 3 years, what's some higher level advice then? Because I reckon like many beginners probably watch this, but also high level people. So what's been like some higher leverage advice, like Nice, for example, that you would give to people out there, or like the main learning here?
Yeah, on top of my head, I would say the number one thing is be bold with your business, especially in the beginning, right? And not just because we're bold and disruptive, Bad Marketing, which we do stand for, quite honestly, but when you're doing a business and you're just starting out, just risk it for the biscuit, man. Like, don't.
I think that's always the case, though. Not just when you start out, man.
You can't be like, I don't know. Let me just try it. And a disclaimer, right? So I got kind of comfortable with bad marketing, and it kind of impacted the way I was thinking for a while. Naturally, like, things are rolling, things are moving, we are growing, it's fun, it's engaging, we're working with great clients, money's great, right? And so I kind of started to get comfortable, and my decision making were not as risky, but rather more safe, personal stuff, or personal businesses. And then I met this dude that's fucking crazy, called Haris from Bosnia, in Dubai 2 years ago. The dude is like, we were at a conference in Dubai, Affiliate Worlds, and me and Luke went there to scout, like just look for clients, connect, network, just try to get more people into the door for bad marketing.
Network, bro.
Yeah.
In conferences, networking, bro.
Yes, and so in the conference, everyone's like very strange, not open for conversations. Like, and we're like, okay, fuck this. Let's just go outside for a smoke. I used to smoke then. Let's get outside and just approach people. And I say, fuck yes, let's go. And then we stepped outside. There was like this like balcony or whatever it's called. And Luke was like, let me go take a piss quickly. And I'm like, okay, fine, that's okay. So I waited. I got the nicotine urge, so I was like, oh my god, this guy is taking forever. Let me just go outside to smoke. I'm gonna wait for him there. And I stepped outside, and I see these 4 dudes chatting in the distance, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. Luke is still not here. Who knows what happened in the toilet? I'm just gonna approach these guys.
Who knows what happened in the toilet? Sure.
He's gonna murder me for this. But, I was like, I'm gonna just approach these guys and just say hello, right?
Yeah.
Out of my comfort zone. Never done that before. I'm not the guy who just approaches people randomly just to like, hey, how you doing?
It's quite weird, right? To be honest, bro.
It's just getting out of the comfort zone, right? You have to do it. And literally the moment I say, hey guys, the dude said, you're from Balkan. in Serbian, well, in Bosnian, right? I say, yes. You have a nose from a Balkan person. I'm like, what the fuck?
Show the nose, bro. Show the nose.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, like, how the fuck did you know that? And
yeah, crazy.
We started chatting, and unintentionally, I started selling him and he started selling me on the idea of working together.
Okay.
Right? So they had an e-commerce business in Bosnia, and they were selling like a general store, selling everything. The main selling point that they had is that they created good connections in China with factories and manufacturers, and they got great prices for the products, and they were importing them in. They were doing the business for like, I believe, 4 or 5 years at that point. And don't quote me on this, I'm not exactly sure how long, but something along those lines. And he was trying to sell me the idea of starting that shit in Serbia because they needed a new market to expand to. And he never said that he wants to work with me in Serbia. And in my head, I was like, fuck my life. I can do this in Serbia. I can get this G.
He wanted to sell you to do it together, bro. And
yes,
you were
exactly.
just like,
and we were like,
let me just do this.
I'm so good. I'm bad marketing. I'll fucking crush it for
him,
this giant.
bro,
and he's like, yeah, in Bosnia, we're fucking crushing it. Like, we sell shit ton, like best prices. I promise you can sell so many containers, but never cross the hey, let's do this in Serbia.
Yeah,
yeah, it was pretty mad. Then Luke approached us. We like started speaking in English.
Yeah.
And the guy was so excited about chatting of us doing stuff together. He speaks a little bit in English, then a little bit in Serbian, a little bit in, and so we went back and forth. We met that night at a club as well. We continued, and then we said like, why don't we just do this in Serbia, man? And he's like, I'm down. Like,
yeah, Luke said that. Or the
Haris? The
okay.
Haris, yeah.
Okay.
And why dude is so crazy, right? He was like, that's it. I met the guy. We were there for a couple of days. We went home, and usually, you know, when you at the events and stuff like that, these people just chat shit, and then like when it actually comes to something to happen, like million and one reason why that didn't actually happen.
Yeah, a lot of fugazi, a lot of hype. Let's do this, that, blah blah, and then everyone goes back home, and then nothing happens. Yeah.
Yes, pretty much. And so I come back, nothing for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Then I get a message on WhatsApp. The dude is like, "Yo, let's have a Google Meet chat." So I'm like, "Yes, I'm down." And we jump on. He has another business partner in Bosnia that he does 50-50 with in Bosnia, and he's like, "Yeah, bro. So are we doing this shit?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm fucking down."
Yeah,
okay. Bro. So initial idea was like, let's start with one container. We were going to sell office chairs and gaming chairs, and we're like, let's just start with one container. To import one container costs close to like 20-25 grand after customs, after all expenses, which would be, I told them the only rule that I have and the only way I'm gonna do this is if we do 50-50 split, because there are two of them. I'm not gonna do the 33% one. And they were perfectly fine with it, which I absolutely respect. But that means I'm giving half of the cash and they're giving half of the cash as an investment. We started with they're like creating these spreadsheets, this how many units, blah, 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 and all of a sudden you can see 120 something cubic meters of goods. One container is 68 cubic meters. I'm like, and they're like, why the fuck don't we just order 2 containers for that matter? And I'm like, why the fuck not?
Let's just
drop more money onto it. Like, keeping in mind that I've met these people a month ago and all of a sudden I'm cashing out 30 grand, sending them to China.
Let's go, G.
Not knowing these people or anything. I'm like, yeah, here's the money. Just send it.
So you do that and then this turns into?
I've done that. Turns out they're phenomenal fucking people.
Yeah.
They are, even though we know each other for 2 years, they are one of the closest people that I have next to me now. I absolutely fucking respect them to the bone. I would absolutely do anything for them at this point. Turned out that business was fucking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
We imported those chairs. And just to put it in perspective, the reason why we haven't grew more is because there is a long time frame that you wait for containers to arrive when you reorder. We went out of stock for 4 times this year.
So you're just too good at what you're doing, bro. That's your bottleneck.
Well, good. A little bit of luck, which any business needs.
Of course.
A lot of balls. Like I said, you need to be confident. You need to make bold moves. You need to risk sometimes, because if we played small, we would, for example, if we only ordered 1 container, because the way it worked, we put that much money into it and we said, okay, we're not going to put more money into it. We're going to build the business from there. We could fund it more, but we were like, okay, let's do it slower instead of just trying to go like bananas and don't care how it goes. If we order just 1 container, that revenue that I told you, just under $1 million, that would be halved, because naturally we would not be able to sell as much in the first month. We'll have to wait 3 months more. Then naturally what happens is a shit show. There is a war in Yemen. They're bombing the fucking containers. All of a sudden now you wait 6 months instead of 3 months for container. The whole shit show. But the thing is,
a lot of shit you can't influence.
Exactly. So, but absolutely fucking smashed it. Luckily we started in November last year, which allows us to have 2 tax returns after January, which will allow us to apply for a business loan. And I think we're gonna get it. I'm pretty confident. That's gonna allow us to actually speed up the process quite a lot, and we're hoping to build our first warehouse by end of next year.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
So let's go into the topic of like people and networking now, because you had a few key figures in your life. Let's just say Eddie, Luke, these guys from Bosnia now. Like, how important is that whole topic of getting out of your way sometimes, even though things are going good, meeting more people, surrounding yourself with the right people? Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so I made the biggest mistake of my life not networking earlier. As I told you, I was not type of a person. Yes, I've met a couple of big names and big people, but that's mainly while doing and being good at what I do, and they are like connecting to get that knowledge or some mutual benefits, whatever. But I never went out of my way to actually go there, travel somewhere to meet people, get to know them, connect. And we were always like, we know it's useful, but we didn't really see a full potential of it. until we merged with bad marketing, we started going to the conferences, we started seeing Eddie. Eddie is like networking G, like I don't know who doesn't he not know. Like
Yeah.
I do not, every person big in the space, he probably either was either doing some business with them or still doing the business.
He's the type of guy to know everyone, basically.
And I'm like, me and Luke were like, well, fuck my life. Well, it seems like networking actually means quite a lot.
it's not just grabbing coffees on conferences with people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like he made so much money just from networking.
Definitely.
It was insane.
Tell me about it.
One thing about networking is you need to be consistent with it. You can't just expect to jump in one meeting or one event and then all of a sudden shit happens. No, you need to constantly work on it. And so actually the Affiliate Worlds conference was me and Luke saying, fuck it, let's just do more networking.
Yeah, let's
Guess
try
what?
this.
The first thing I've done, I fucking landed a business partner and doing under $1 million in the first year of business. So,
Guess what, bro? Yeah,
it goes to show how fucking important networking is and like meeting people, interacting with people. But it's also having people around you with that mindset of business, because oftentimes you're gonna hear people, oh, that's enough. Why are you looking for more? You are already successful. In their eyes, you are. In your eyes, you're not. You have shit more things to do and to achieve. But having like-minded people around you, it's not just going to impact your business directly by partnering up or doing partnerships or some kind of collaborations, but it's also going to impact your mindset to be like, fuck my life, these fucking 15 dudes are smashing it way more than I am. Why the fuck can I not do the same thing, right?
Definitely,
so
man.
And if you don't have people around you that are like that, it's very difficult. It's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult to get that mindset moving for a long period of time. You can't do it for a month or two, a year.
Yeah.
But constantly someone just talking shit to you about stupid stuff.
How much money they make, how the business is going. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I just feel like people who have not experienced it yet, they just try to put this ROI on networking and meeting people. Like, oh, I need to spend money, I need to go out of my way, what if nothing happens? I could invested money into ads, crypto, blah, blah, this and that. And then they don't see that with the whole networking side of things, with meeting more people, you're just increasing the chances of some crazy cool shit happening to you, of some crazy opportunities happening in the start. So it's not something where you get an immediate like return of investment. Often you do, bro, just like you, for example, you never know. But you're just setting yourself up for success so much more in the future. And that's what I realized as well, like business partnerships happening a year or two after you meet certain guys or like some crazy piece of advice. And what you mentioned as well in terms of the whole inspirational side of things, I think people only look at okay, what do I get out immediately, for example, as I said, like putting something tangible around it. But the whole inspirational, motivational side of things, man, like in Helix, for example, I had one conversation with a few key moments in my life where just people casually mentioning something. Like we were in Thailand exactly a year ago in December 23. I thought we were doing well, comfort zone that you mentioned too. And then one guy told me, like casually, one of my best friends, he's just mentioning, yeah, the quite few months were going quite well. I'm like, tell me about it. He was like, sure. October, we did 800K. I was like, bro, I'm here in Thailand. I think we're doing good, bro. And he just did 800K like in 1 month, bro. So just like this mindset and like this perspective shift basically of what's possible. I think there's no price point, like no price tag you can put on that, because 95% of the time you have a personal problem, not a business problem, but the personal problem is manifesting in your business. Which can be laziness, arrogance, all of these things.
Procrastination.
Yeah, procrastination, just and being in the comfort zone. And what fixed this for me was the right people and basically seeing, okay, bro, there's much, much bigger sharks out there or bigger whales basically, and I need to fucking step up my game, brother.
But you also realize, because you are now in that circle, that those people are nothing special. Like
that's
they
true
are
as well.
special, don't get me wrong. Everyone
Smart
is special.
guys,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they're not that different to you, how you are, right? We are all a little bit different, but they're pretty much the same. The only difference is they've just had the mindset of like, hey, why make 100 grand when I can make $1 million a month? Why make $1 million when I can do 80 million, like the ecom guy.
Yeah, bro, let's
Like,
just do 20 million
why
a month,
just
bro.
a million? Fuck million.
bro.
That's
Yeah.
nothing. Like peanuts money.
Yeah.
So yeah, genuinely, I mean, that's why I joined Helix.
Yeah, bro.
Initial conversation that you and I had is like, it was very,
Yeah,
because
like let's just tell like the story. What happened? Like we started running ads completely randomly again through the network, because like we grew Helix very organically, our group, and then a friend just told me, bro, why don't you just run ads? I was like, yeah, I thought of that, but let's just do it later. He was like, no, bro, shout out to David, by the way. I was at his house, bro, and he was like, let us script and record the ads now. And I was like, no, we didn't see each other for half a year. I'll do it later at home. He was like, no, bro, let's do it now. So he like scripts one ad, I script another ad. His copy was shit, bro. We just took my ad, bro, and then just recorded the ad in his house, bro. And that was the ad you saw, like cap, like some fucked up hoodie, bro, whatever. I was like, fuck it doesn't matter. Let me just try it, bro. And then gave it to my editor. He edited it, put it up a week later, bro. And then what happened from there, man?
And then I saw these fucking dudes speaking in English, mentioning Belgrade and Serbia, and like, who the fuck knows about Serbia?
Yeah, bro, what's going on?
And I was like, but at the time your name was not Danilo on the profile. It was
Dane.
Yeah. I was like, this dude is not even Serbian, and he was in Serbian. That's what intrigued me, and I was like, I might just as well book this meeting and just see what this guy has to sell me. And then surprisingly, I jumped on. We started vibing. It was fucking phenomenal call. It went way over the limit that we set for the meeting.
Yeah. He was like, I have 20 minutes. I was like, I have 20 minutes, and then we talked for I don't know how long. Yeah.
And then I was like, you guys have an amazing offer with great people, great community. The boys, how I like to call it, although I see a couple of girls there as well. It's not just the boys, so you might need to change that thing.
Yeah, it's the boys, bro.
Yeah.
It's the boys, bro.
I'm joking. It's and I was like, but your guys' lifestyle doesn't really match my current lifestyle, not because business and stuff, but personal lifestyle. I just got married. I'm expecting a kid. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna be able to travel, how much I have 2 businesses going, and a third one I'm trying to create, shit ton of stuff happening throughout the day. Will I have enough time to actually network, to actually do shit?
To actually get out of it what you want to get out of it.
Yes, exactly. And it was not that positive ROI that you mentioned earlier for me. It was more like, if I'm gonna enroll, I don't want to be there just for sake, hey, I'm in the group, and then I don't chat with anyone. I don't have time to connect with people, and I just wasted everyone's time for just joining in, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I said initially no to the thing. Well, not long after that, this guy here decided casually to say, hey, I'm flying from Germany to Niche, so let's have a dinner. And I'm like, yes, why not, right? So I was like, fair play, fair enough. Like we spoke once on the call, and then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks afterwards, I believe it was. Yeah. The guy is here, right? So we went for a breakfast. It was phenomenal. We had a great chat. Then after that, we went for a lunch.
Organized a big group lunch with a bunch of guys.
Yeah, surprisingly, I've met 7 more fucking people who are crushing it in digital marketing in small town niche that I had no clue about, and all because of this one dude, right? And so we vibed, everything was great. You went home, and then I was sitting home, I was thinking, well, fuck my life. If this was one day, I can't even call it event.
Just like breakfast and lunch,
exactly.
Bro. Casual chill.
And I've met so many fucking people in my city, let alone how many people I can meet outside of my city, outside of my country. And then you hit me up again, follow up. Everything is in a follow up, man.
My man got married. My man's expecting a kid and everything. I was like, hey, G.
And he's like, okay, here is. I think you would be a good fit here. I think you would be someone who would vibe with people in my community. And let's start with a small event, which is here now in Belgrade.
Yeah, bro.
And join the community so you can just meet people. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do it, man. Like at this point, I don't know what's gonna happen in a couple of months when I get a kid. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with my business. It's a Q4, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just do it and let's see how it goes from here. And that's the taking action part, right?
Yeah.
If you don't take action, shit will not happen.
Yeah, need to take risks sometimes. Yeah, exactly. What you mentioned earlier.
And then turned out to be very, very valuable. Like the tribe calls are phenomenal. I absolutely enjoy them. I've met some great people there. The social calls or the weekly calls are absolutely crazy. The topics there are absolutely nuts, which I'm not gonna disclose here. So you're gonna have to join to see. But you quickly realize it's not just business, it's not just like make money, it's also like, hey, how are things going? How do you feel? I have this personal issue now with that's impacting my business, but it's impacting my life. Does anyone have any ideas, solutions? Maybe just having a chat with someone who can understand you to some extent, right? Which goes a long way. I have a ton of friends. I have close friends as well that I can share anything with, I can speak, but they're still not in the same space, or how do I say that? They're still not at that stage where I'm currently. Yeah. And so they want to help me, they want to understand me, but sometimes they just can't.
They just can't relate, man. Yeah.
Exactly, they can't relate. They don't understand the day-to-day shit that I'm going through. And that's why this community, Helix, actually makes it very nice and very good to be in, to just speak with people who are in the same spot. Maybe they're slightly more ahead in the journey, maybe they're slightly below, but overall it's a pretty cool place to be in.
Yeah, I just feel like the approach that we had from the start, which came through own experience, was we were all business people, so we were naturally going to chat about business and stuff. And I enrolled in many business masterminds, you probably as well in the past. And everything that people want to get out of that is just the business side of things. Versus when I just meet you in a business setting, like I most likely just want to get business value out of this, and I don't really give a damn about you as a person. Versus if we meet as people, bro, and I really like you, you really like me in a personal setting, then you would go much more out of your way in order to help me achieve a goal.
And vice versa.
And vice versa, exactly. So I realized, bro, if we get the personal side fixed first, then we can go much, much further in the business, for example. That's why I feel like it is a little, like our approach is just a little bit different, or a lot different to what the other people do, because many people, maybe they develop the business partnership first and then the friendship. But from my own experience so far, we've just been able to achieve so much more, so much faster, just by changing the whole way of how we do things and what we focus on first. So you're on the first event here. It's like the start of day 3 now. And how has it been so far, man? Like, genuine question.
Pretty mad. I mean, we had a lot of fun last night. Ended up in casino. Not great. Lost a lot of money. Not a lot, but lost some money. We had a lot of fun. I met some great people from, well, you can't really know where they're from because they live in 10 different locations.
Basically, we're like, you can't even say where people are from.
Yeah, I can't even say where they're from. So, but a pure example, right?
Yeah.
I met a guy here, and he won school games, right? And you know, I'm trying to build a community on school. Randomly, oh yeah, I'm going to Las Vegas next month. I'm like, yeah, why? Like traveling, just like
the school games, bro.
Yeah, Alex Ramosi. I'm just going for a school game, so I won it. And so, guess what? I got a couple of tips and tricks from him, what he's done, and probably gonna implement them. And wow, now all of a sudden I'm getting the ROI back on my investment because. Yeah. But it should not be intention of joining to get the ROI, and then the ROI will come on its own. To go back to the event, I'm not sure how much I can actually say or how much you're gonna see in the vlog,
Link in
which
the
you should
description.
subscribe to. But yeah, I absolutely love it so far. The event, the organization is great. And I hope the next 2 days are gonna stay the same or get even better, and we can see from there. I can give my 2 cents about the actual event after the event.
Yeah, true.
I think
that's just like
the best
halftime interview currently,
Yes.
bro, for the event. So
well, put it this way: we went to sleep at 4 a.m. last night, and right now it's 9, and we woke up at 7 just to do this podcast. So that's how crazy the whole thing is.
yeah.
So.
Our great organization is obviously we have shit organized, but we swing it, bro, because we realize oftentimes we swing it because we've done events where everything is like organized to its T, whatever, blah blah. But often, man, like the funniest shit happens spontaneously. Like, oh, let's actually do this side quest and this side quest, and let's do this and that, and then like where the craziest stuff happens, bro. And then that's when the where you get like these memories, bro, that will last for long. Like because
you said it well. This is how people bond quicker and better, and not just be transactional or business type stuff. You have memories with. I have memories with these guys last night, and all of a sudden I can be in the chat after the event, like
cracking jokes.
Do you see, guys, what this happened afterwards? Like and that's what creates the connection between people.
Yeah,
it's not just business.
Yeah, definitely. Like as I said earlier, man, like the whole personal side of things, and then you actually then want to spend more time with these people because you have all of these experiences, you have all of these touch points, you have all of this crazy stuff that happened. Watch the vlog, smash like.
Yes. Like and subscribe.
We need to do more CTAs, bro. Subscribe, bro. And yeah, 100%. So what has had the biggest impact, you'd say, so far? Because you haven't gotten any tangible ROI, but what's like the biggest impact so far?
Well, put it this way. The biggest impact that I've had so far, and I've been only here for a month, just over a month.
A month and a half, something like that.
Month and a half, right? Yeah. So it's not even that much, but already I feel more accepted in this space rather than just feeling like just another person who's just trying to do something with his business. I just feel like I now have the place to go to have a chat and just get shit off of my chest, and I know it's gonna stay in the community, but I'm gonna also get legit feedback from it. So far that's been the best that I've gotten out of it. Along meeting people, connecting with people, hearing some great stories. I even got some inputs to my business that actually helped me on ROI, let's say, but I don't think that's the biggest thing that I've got so far. It's more that I know that now I used to be like, I need to find the time to do these calls, where now I'm canceling shit so I can be on those calls. So that's a positive thing.
I think that's kind of like, and I openly share this as well, like that's kind of like the biggest bottleneck and kind of thing that we're trying to educate the people on, which is we often have like guys who say, brother, I love the whole concept, I love everything, but I just don't know if I have the time for this, if I have the time to do one weekly call and like all the mental capacities and everything for that. But the thing is, you have to experience to understand. It's not like money or anything like that where you immediately know what's on the other side, or anything where you know, okay, I need to make more money and then I'll be able to buy this Lambo and I know what's coming. Versus here, it's a lot different. It's like, I actually don't know what's coming. I actually don't know what's on the other side. I actually don't know what this is going to bring me here. So as you said, sometimes you just need to take the risk. We had so many people who we talked to are like, as I said, like, I love it, this and that, but XYZ, and then they find that XYZ point, maybe to not really get over the line and do it. But I feel like for you already, it feels like you're happy with the decision, bro, that you made the jump.
Absolutely. And I would genuinely regret if I haven't joined. I mean, obviously I would not know, but now
that's
thinking
the issue.
about it,
know,
I would probably regret not joining. Well, I have a question for you though.
Tell me, brother.
I've been chatting shit here for an hour now. No, over an hour. Tell me about your business. Well, Helix. Tell me about the community and how it actually started. What prompted you to actually build this place for like-minded people to share experience, knowledge, and connections between each other?
The thing is, like, we never intended or planned to do this. I feel like it just fell into my / our lap, because I probably was in a similar situation as you were in terms of you grow the business. I ran a marketing agency. I'm a few years younger than you. And I literally had not a single person to talk to. I didn't even have a business partner, bro. You at least sometimes had like these business partners you could fall back on, but I didn't even have that at all. And then I saw there's like this online community. I joined that 2.5 years ago, roughly. I suddenly started meeting people in Germany, started meeting people here in Serbia as well. I remember going on my first dinner with these guys. Like I took initiative, like I organized all of these things because I wanted to meet them. And then after one dinner, and these were guys who were making a little bit less money than me, but I was like, damn, bro, like the conversations I had with these people are completely different. Finally, someone that you mentioned as well, someone who can relate, bro. Like it's just like this little thing is so crazy having that. And this happened very naturally that then one of the boys that I met there in Germany, he asked me, hey, we want to go to Spain, do a monk mode together, basically. I said, sure. Let us ask a few guys from the community. So I posted a message in there, and then 30 guys reached out to us. They wanted to come with us, which just shows the demand for the whole thing and how much there is a need for that stuff. We went to Spain, had a great month. People inside of the community saw that, and then people online on my IG saw that as well. Like I never had many followers, but always like business people who followed me. Nice. So 500-600 guys at the time. And then people were like, yo, bro, this is crazy. When's the next trip? When's the next trip? And you mentioned Q4 in December earlier. I had the same issues with my agency. Like I couldn't sign any new clients or anything like that because everything was on pause. So I was like, sure, let me just organize another trip. Then we went to Cape Town. Craziest stuff ever. Like met all the big dogs in person, like Iman and his whole team, Serge Gatari, a few other like silent killers you don't know of, but for making millions per month as well. And then I realized, bro, fuck, like I'm.
And they were at your house, at your event.
Yeah, they were like our villa, hosted a big mastermind, hosted big parties, big networking events. Like we just had the biggest spot in the whole city. And the thing is, I was probably the guy who made the like least amount of money, but I still had all the leverage because like we had the clubhouse, brother. Like everyone wanted to hang out at our house, bro. Like everyone was there basically. One thing led to another, and I went from knowing no one to like knowing everyone basically and being him. Because it just was the case in Cape Town back then when we had the villa and stuff in like 6 months. And that's how fast shit can change. And then the people there told me, bro, you should do this like more frequently. Screw the agency, brother. Like just start this trips business. And then it was a risk. Like the agency made me money very reliably, bro. But then I saw, okay, there's so much more potential to this. And then I was like, okay, let me drop the agency here because I've done it for 2.5 years. I got tired of it. Don't know how you're not tired yet of doing agency work, bro.
Getting there, maybe.
Maybe, who knows? And then we started the whole trips thing. A year later, after I almost got burned out, brother, after just like traveling all the time, I realized we can't just rely on in-person events on one side, like we need the whole online thing as well. But on the other side also, we saw on the events, everyone's bonding and it's great. And maybe this whole feeling holds on for a month, you stay in touch with these guys, but then you go back home, you're getting your child, bro, you're with your wife, you're building the new businesses, and it's the same for all the others. So things then kind of like drifted apart again in terms of the connections. So we realized, okay, we need to build an infrastructure for the guys to actually stay in touch longer as well, because you know how hard it can be. And then we started the online community. We started, like, we're obviously keep doing the in-person events to have, like, I call this relationship building on steroids, bro. Like casino nights until 4 a.m., crazy real talks, all of that stuff that the online side just can give you. And then we have the online community where we just like keep building and nurturing these relationships over time, because they're naturally going to fall apart, because that's just our life. You're not connected by location, unfortunately. So we have to be connected somehow. And that's kind of like how we started. And I think one major point that was also important for me to understand is how superficial everything sometimes can be, and actually transactional. So we've done events for a year until that point, and then I just took a step back because we hopped on an event in London and it was like 80 people there for 2 days. And then I literally shook 80 hands for 2 days, bro. and then because in that community I was quite known at the time then because of all the events and stuff, and then we did some collaborations. And then we went back, bro. I went back. I was on the plane and I thought about the whole event and I was like, what did I get out of this now? I didn't get anything out of this except for 80 handshakes. And there was
maybe a little bit of muscle.
Yeah, from this, bro. And then one guy actually that I spent more time with, Jan, shoutouts to Jan, who's been on 2-3 events with us now as well, who's also a big inspiration. And then I realized, what did I do the past year, bro? Like I met all of these people, but what actually changed?
What did you achieve?
Yeah. So we realized like what changed in my life. Was it meeting like Iman, Serge, and all of these big people? It actually wasn't, because not really, they're not like close friends, right? And was it all the crazy experiences? Obviously that's cool, but if it's with people that I forgot until now, like it's a little bit worthless as well. Same with the content. Obviously having a nice IG and stuff is a great thing, but it's not like life changing. So I realized what changed like my life the most, and it sounds cheesy as you said earlier as well, is the friendships, brother. Like what we, for example, have now even after 2 months, is something that you can put a price tag on.
True.
What I have with people that I've got to know like 2 years ago, actually on my very first event, second event, third event, what I have with them is completely priceless as well. You can't put a price tag on that. So we realized, okay, we need to step away from this whole just mastermind, content, shootings, this and that, because that's what we did at the start. To, okay, let us make sure these guys have a fucking great time, bond through having a great time, and then afterwards they will grow. So we naturally just evolved in the business as well over time. We haven't it all figured out from the start, bro. But that's kind of like our journey and how we did it.
I mean, who did figure it out from the get-go?
I thought maybe you, brother.
No, fuck that.
You're him, bro.
So many mistakes.
So many mistakes.
No, but pretty cool. And I can see, how I like to tell people, the way I'm doing stuff now is more when I'm doing these, let's call investments into myself. And we had this chat about even school and how I made a comparison. When people ask me like, okay, why it's not the biggest community that you guys have right now, right?
Yeah.
It's not. And I know you guys don't want to make it the like big, because you want to also keep the connection between people genuine and true.
Yeah.
But I saw the fire in you and the how much you actually loved what you do and how much you're passionate about it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna invest in this guy because I genuinely believe that he's gonna make something that's even greater than what it is today. And so I'm very happy to be a part of this journey and see where it takes.
Thank you, brother. I thank you very much for hopping on with me here. First of many Helix interviews, I just want to showcase even more who we have in the community, their journeys and everything. I'm very grateful that you're the first guy here on this channel.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. If you want to learn more about what we do, check out one of the vlogs that's going to be linked in the description. You can apply using the link below. We have a great team of guys who are going to vet the application. I don't really like to do call to actions, but this guy told me we have to do more of that stuff. We have
Absolutely.
we have to push the message more. So if you want to learn more about what we do, check out the link in the description. Nicola, thank you very much for coming here, brother.
Absolutely a pleasure.
Like and subscribe.